Hey guys, welcome to our team call. It is July 5th, and I'm so happy to have you guys on our Healthy for Life team call tonight. So tonight's topic is going to be one that we're going to kind of have a little more of a laid-back call today because I want everyone to try to jump in and participate. So our topic is personal development, and the reason I want to do personal development right now is because we're officially 6 months through the year. We're just starting our 7th month, so we're halfway. And I know in January, you guys probably made goals and set plans and had this picture of what you wanted your year to look like. And now we're officially halfway through the year. So it's a good time to kind of pull those goals back out, reevaluate where you're at, and see what you still need to work on, or maybe add some new ones because you've achieved them before the end of the year. So the nice thing about that, though, is that personal development kind of weaves hand in hand with goals, because on the days maybe that you don't feel like working towards your goals, or the days that maybe you get 10 no's and you're like, man, maybe I'm not cut out to be a coach, you need that personal development. And if you don't have that, it's really hard to achieve some of the goals that you have. And it's really hard sometimes to help somebody else improve their life and feel better about themselves when you're not feeling 100% confident in who you are and what you're about. So personal development, while it's typically the behavior that is put on the back burner first, it definitely should be the, I think, vital behavior that you're doing first. And it really makes everything else better, including you. And then guess what? If you're better, you're a better coach for all the customers and clients that you're working with and for your team. So personal development, that's my soapbox as to why I think it's so important. And this is a good time of year, like for vacations and trips and things like that, laying on the beach, good time to get personal development in the morning when it's still quiet and everyone's still asleep, before you start your day, good time to get personal development in. I have a new coach that just told me, Jenna, I don't have any time in my schedule to do personal development. I just don't have time. And I pretty much told her, do you drive your car? Do you drive your car throughout the day? Maybe to work? And she's like, oh yeah, I have a 35-minute commute. Well, guess what? You have time. The reality is we're not making time for it. We all have time for it. You truly have to make the time and make the priority to get it into your schedule. Because remember, if you want to be successful in life, maybe as a mother, or a friend, or a spouse, or a coach, or a teacher, or whatever hat you wear, you want to make sure that you're always filling up your cup. So, personal development theme for the call tonight. I'm going to start with mine, what I'm currently reading, and give you guys a little insight into why I love it and why I would recommend it for everyone. And then I'm going to kind of open it up and let you guys share what you're reading right now. Maybe if you're not reading it right now, it's just a great book that you've encountered along your journey. And let us know if you went ebook, actual physical book, old school, right? Or if you went audiobook, because that makes a difference too, I'm sure. So I'm going to start. Okay, so right now I'm reading Girl Code, which is absolutely fabulous. It's by the same author that did the Champagne Diet and Fearless and Fabulous, I think is the name of the book. She's fantastic, by the way. She is real straight talk, and I kind of like that direct approach. No like rainbows and unicorns. It's very real and raw, and I really love that. It's Kara. I'm not going to say that right, so there, you guys can see it. And she's fantastic. The reason that I like this book right now is because it talks a lot about comparison. And in our business, it's no surprise to anyone on this call, unless you're a new coach, that our upline is the only, four-time 15-star diamond coach in Beachbody. Like, how can you not look at that and be like, wow, I wish I had that. I wish I was that. Like, how, and even just on this team right now, how many people have said, oh my gosh, Emily Burns, her business is blowing up. I wish I could do what Emily does. Like, there's so much comparison in this business because we all work so closely together. So sometimes it's hard not to say, well, that person's this place or this person's that place. So one of the things I like about this book is it reminds you that you celebrate everybody's success and your success keeps growing too. And I think that's really important to come back and focus on in our business, because we always say put your blinders on, right? Like, don't look at what other people cross line, up line, down line are doing. It's really hard sometimes to do that, right? It's really hard to put blinders on and not notice what other people are doing. So this book really, for those of you that just jumped on, I'm talking about Girl Code. This book really just helps focus on celebrating you and your success, but also celebrating all the women in your life and their success too, and everybody kind of growing and celebrating together. One thing I like about Beachbuddy's business model is that we do kind of get an opportunity, even though we can see what other people are doing, that we get to celebrate that. Like, how often on this team are we celebrating a name on the wall 500, or a rank advancement, or just somebody that's changed a life or affected or positively impacted a life, right? We're celebrating that stuff all the time. I mean, just today on our team page, I made a collage that had over 30 people going like this. Just day 2. Like, and we celebrated everybody getting through day 2, right? We're always celebrating as a family and a fit family, and I just think that's awesome. And that's such a cool part of this business. So Girl Code is a great book to help you get out of that comparison game, celebrate your success, but also let you know that you can be empowered by other people's success as well. So that's the PD I recommend right now. I'm going to tell you one more book that I love, and then I'm going, like, I could probably do this all night, but we only have 30 minutes, and we have a couple people that probably want to talk. So the other book that I think that you should absolutely read if you have not is, it's called Start Something That Matters. And the book is by Blake McCoskey, and he is the creator of Toms, the shoes, Toms. And the book, it does go back into the history about how Toms was created, but it really talks about truly aligning yourself with goals and things that are a part of your purpose and that what you were made for, and how to really just create something that you want to get up and do every day and you're really passionate about. And maybe it's Beachbody and maybe it's not, and that's okay if it's not. But the neat thing about it is maybe Beachbody is the venue that's going to get you to do that thing that you want to do. You know, like, I always wanted to compete. It was something in the back of my mind. Financially, it was never something that I could do, and now it's something Beachbody has allowed me to be able to do. It has nothing to do with Beachbody. You know what I mean? So there's always, like, Beachbody can be that venue for you to get to something else. And that book, Start Something That Matters, it's going to make you think about what you're doing, why you're doing it, and help you dig for a deeper purpose to why you want to be successful in your life and how you can help other people do it. So that's the other book that I absolutely recommend to you guys. So those are my 2 personal development suggestions. I'm going to open it up and let you guys jump in and tell us what you're reading and why you love it. And yeah, so that's it. And you guys are all muted, so just unmute yourself so you can chat.
I can go first if nobody else wants to go. So has been sleeping in when I know I need to be getting up. So I use my Kindle. Sometimes I go to Second and Charles and I'll find different books and then I can actually, like, read them. But for me, sometimes it just works better on here since I have Amazon Prime. They go straight to my Kindle, plus I can get them on my iPad too. So whatever, I take one or the other with me everywhere, so I always have it with me. And there was just a quote in the beginning that I wanted to share, and it says, "What greater wealth is there than to own your life and to spend it on growing? Every living thing must grow. It can't stand still. It must grow or perish." And I just love that, because we all are in this business to grow and to move forward. And I know that when I was getting up earlier, getting my workout done, getting my PD and everything done in the morning, my day went so much better and I was way more productive. So that's currently what I'm reading and what I recommend reading now.
I can jump in next. So I always have an audiobook that I listen to in the car, and I always make sure it's something that the kids can actually get value out of as well. So I just finished listening to The Happiness Advantage in the car, and there are so many takeaways from that book just for life in general. But a lot can be applied to the business. Will you guys be quiet for 1 second? Sorry. The last section of the book was about the butterfly effect, and it's about a butterfly flaps its wings and can create an earthquake across the country. And that just talks about the tiny little thing that one person can do can have such an impact on such a huge audience. And I think about us as coaches. If we get that one challenger that's successful, not only can we change their health in their life, but then they can pay it forward. And through that one person, we can just change millions of lives, which is an amazing opportunity. And then I always read something too. And right now I'm reading I Am That Girl, which it's a really great book just about finding your passion, your purpose, and being confident. And I'll actually take a picture of it. It's kind of long to read, but it starts off and it has that girl manifesto. And I read this every single day to remind myself of it. It's just so powerful, and it just kind of gets my day started off on the right track just by reading through that manifesto. So highly recommend this book as well.
Awesome. Will you share that, like a picture of that in the team page?
I'll do it right now.
Yep.
Perfect. Thank you. What else?
I will follow up to Nina because I also keep an audiobook in the car and listen to that. And I'm just finishing up The Power of Vulnerability by Brené Brown. And again, it's something that the kids can jump in and listen to when they're in car too. So I don't want to talk too loud. Courtney's in here, but I did pick this book specifically kind of for her to listen into. She struggles a lot, and I think everybody can with our weaknesses. And I love that this really talks about using your weaknesses or not seeing your weaknesses as weaknesses and letting yourself be vulnerable, but actually embracing them and sharing them. So that's what I really like about her. So many of our weaknesses turn into fears, and rather than letting that happen, embrace them and learn from them. So when I'm reading I Am That Girl also, and I highly recommend, like Nina said, the manifesto in the beginning is awesome. But I have a quote that really stuck to me. I don't know if it's because I am like almost 40. Yes, I just said that out loud. I still have a year to go, but my husband's 50. We're all kind of like our friends. The word midlife crisis comes up a lot. So this, I took a picture of it. Kind of what I want to instill to my friends right now is not to wait until your midlife crisis to wake up and start living the life that you've always dreamed of. Do it now. Get into the habit of listening to your own changing needs and wants and learning how to deliver them. So that really kind of hit home for me, and kind of my target audience right now is, 40, 50, it's all just a number. And, you want something, just go for it. We have one life, live it. And, don't wait for an excuse. So love that book too.
Yeah, that's awesome. Everybody, I know that's been a common book that everyone's been reading lately, and it seems like everybody gets a different nugget from it and shares it. So that's awesome. Who's next?
I'll go. Hey guys.
Hi, Dawn.
So Caitlin let me borrow a book, and it's good old Joel Osteen. This is the first time I actually read one of his books, and I am in love with this. I love the way that he approaches it. It's and I love being able to connect personal development with spirituality. So those two combined, and he talks about it's looking at things positive. He talks about growth. He talks about blessings in your life and taking care of what you have, including yourself and the things around you, and how empowering you to serve others and to stay passionate about those things that you care deeply about. So this has been a really good thing for me to read, and I highly recommend it for anyone who wants to incorporate some of the spirituality and with building your confidence and staying positive. So highly recommend this one too.
Yeah, that's like one of my favorite books that he writes. That's awesome.
Did I mention the title? It's You Can, You Will. It might help.
That might help, yes. And anything he has is fantastic.
Yeah, I agree. I'm hooked now. Hey, so I don't know if anyone else has satellite radio, but I just got that my husband just got it for me for my birthday, and he has an actual station on satellite radio. So, and that's free through satellite. Well, if you get satellite, but
yeah, and they play a lot of his sermons, and they play a lot of and it's not all just him. There's some of other great speakers that he has on his channel too. So that's awesome, and a good way to do it in the car.
And if you go to the library and you're looking for audiobooks, you can find a ton of audiobooks from Joel.
Oh, awesome. And he's great to listen to, right? That Southern, you get sucked into that, man. What else, guys? What else are you reading and listening to?
Hey, guys. I'll go.
Hi, Kristen.
Hi. So I also, I guess 2 months ago, I started with Audible. I also did listen to Joel Osteen for a little while on XM radio as well, and found that it was the easiest way for me to get it in. I typically would leave it to the end of the day and fall asleep reading and not really get much value out of it. So audiobook has been cool, and then I also downloaded it on my husband's phone. So he's getting some PUD while he drives around too. So that's a double bonus for me. And like Nina said too, it's all good messages, most of them, for kids too. I did get a cuss word in once, and that was funny. But anyway, so right now I'm listening to Crash the Chatterbox. I have read it once before, and I know Michelle and I tend to start reading the same things because we need the same thing at the same time without knowing it. I've read it before and just needed again to get the negativity out of my mind. And it's a great book for that. And I did, actually I was voice messaging myself, part of yesterday's chapter, I think it was. And so I'll read it to you guys. The most encouraging message you've never heard. He says, number 1, you're doing better than you think you are. Number 2, it's less about you than you think it is. And number 3, you matter more than you think you do.
Nice.
So this book, it's very spiritual and, talks a lot about God, which I think is great. I don't see myself as being a super godly person, but it is awesome messages underneath it as well. And you also get a lot of the other biblical stories as it goes. So great book. And like I said, in the car, that's all I do.
Yeah, Crash the Chatterbox. That's Steve Furtick, right?
Yes.
Yes. He's fantastic. And he's got really great sermons online as well that you can listen to. Awesome. That's a really good one for a lot of negative self-talk. We all have that committee in our head that's always telling us things and always chatting with us and always, it isn't always positive. So that's a really good one to help you kind of get that in check. What else? What else y'all reading?
I'll follow up to that. So my favorite book is Crash the Chatterbox. And the quote I love from that, sorry, I gotta rock with me. The favorite one from the beginning was, the voice you believe will determine the future you experience. And that's for life, for business. So I really like that. And then I think just overall that book, I thought once I became a good enough Christian or a godly enough woman that the chatterbox would stop. And I love the book because it tells you that the chatterbox will always be there. And the more faith you have, the louder it's going to become, actually, and the more successful you become. The louder the chatterbox will be. Just how do you deal with that? So I really like that. Another one kind of on the kid-friendly topic, I listened to The Energy Bus, which was another awesome book. Super simple read. And I know, Kristen, I think you had Macy do there's an actual kid version.
Oh, nice.
Taylor, who's 10, almost 11, listened to the adult one. And was able to get a lot of content out of it, and it's just an easy read, so it made sense to him. So that's another family-friendly one that I recommend and really liked and have listened to more than once.
Yeah, the Energy Bus is great. It's a great team book to read too, to kind of get everybody on your bus. And the Energy Bus is really good because it's written like a story versus actual just like chapters and that have topics. It's written as a story, and like you want to know, it's George, right? Like you want to know George this whole trip, like so it's an easy read if you're somebody that starts reading a book and you're like, I can't get into this. It's a very easy read to kind of attract yourself into. Yeah, that's awesome. And I love that you're just rocking away over there while you that's awesome.
Yeah.
Very cool. Look, the little one's getting like PD really, really teeny tiny.
Yeah, she is.
Cool. Who else, guys? What else are you reading? This is a good list so far.
I can go next.
Hi, Linda.
Hi. So I got to be honest, I don't do a whole lot of reading. My PD is pretty much listening to Alice and Michelle and you, and you guys are also inspiring, and so I learned so much from you guys. But I have read The Compound Effect, and I have decided to have my challengers read it. And I just love the fact that it talks about the ripple effect and how we don't have to make big changes all at once. Just all those small changes add up to your big goals. And the same thing with our bad habits. We've created bad habits by not even knowing it, just by having that tiny piece of candy here and there, and by the time we know it, we've gained 20 pounds. So I think that my challengers will really benefit from that book.
Yeah. Yeah, no, that's a great book. I'm glad you brought that up. That's one I think that gets overlooked a lot, but it's I'm a great example, and I can use myself. Like, I've been doing this for 4 years, like small, consistent behaviors over time, and it truly does change your life, but it takes a while, and it takes small positive changes just as well as small negative changes to really see some kind of difference in your life. So, and having your challengers do that, like, that's brilliant. That's really smart. What a great idea. Good book. And that's Darren Hardy, for those of you that don't know him. He was a speaker at Summit, was it last year? 2 years ago, maybe? 2 years ago. And he was fantastic. So he has a lot of great stuff online as well that you can look at for resources. Thank you, Linda.
You're welcome.
Who else? Chelsea's just hanging out over there. Chelsea, you got something you'd like to add? I couldn't call Emily out because she went first, so.
I'm reading I Am That Girl, too.
Yeah.
I just really like how personable it is. Like, it's literally hitting so many parts. But the one that stuck out the most to me was where she says she was away at some camp and her friend had passed away in a car accident. And she came home, like, locked herself in her room and would not come out, wouldn't eat. And then she had said she missed her immensely. However, despite the pain, she has never actually left her, and she refuses to let the death be an excuse not to live. So that really hit home for me. And then, because, I don't know, I feel like sometimes I get in my head different excuses for different reasons. But then it says about just keep moving forward and not looking back. And then it was really funny because I am getting a new tattoo on Friday, and I really like the arrows here. So I looked up, like, what exactly an arrow stands for, and it says about the power and strength, and then an arrow only moves forward in one direction, and it never looks back. So that was like, wow, it just kind of went perfectly together. But this book I would recommend to anybody, even if you're not working the business and you just like reading, I would read this book. It has kept my attention more than any book except for Go For Now. That was a really good one.
Ooh, that's a good one. Nobody said that one yet either.
That was like the very first one I read, but it was really good too.
Yeah, that's a great book to start with in this business. And if you guys missed that, she was talking about Go For No, which is just another Another great book that focuses on why you want to actually get people to say no instead of yes. Another book that I want to throw in here, and I have to thank Anne for this, and she's teaching a class right now, or else I know her butt would be on this call too. But there's a book by the same author that did The Energy Bus, John Gordon, and it's called One, just the word one. And it is a game-changing book in your business, in your life. I actually read it waiting in a doctor's appointment office. I read the whole book. And it's a very quick read, but it really helps you focus on, instead of setting specific goals, which of course we want SMART goals that are measurable and specific, but a lot of people fail when they set goals like that. Think about it, New Year's resolution, 30 days into the year, most people have already broke all the ones that they were trying to push for because there's just too much to focus on. So one, it helps you come up with one word that is your theme for the whole year. So everything in your life, every aspect of your life focuses on this one word. And you read the whole book and you're like, oh, they're going to help me figure out my word. And you get to the end of the book and they don't tell you what your word is. You are supposed to then pray. It's a faith-focused book, of course, and you're supposed to pray about it, and it's, in some way, shape, or form, your word is supposed to come to you. And Anna and I both did it. She recommended it to me, and we both did it, and our words both came to us right after we got done reading it, and it was kind of neat. In which, for me personally, I'll tell you guys, my word for the year is joy, and it's focusing on joy in every aspect of my life. And I was not sure what my word was going to be, and I was listening to the radio one day, and this song came on, and the word joy was like really prevalent in the song. And while I was listening to it, a car drove by, and the license plate on it said joy. And I'm like, ooh, goosebumps. That's my word. But yes, the book is called One. It's by John Gordon, and it is a good book to help you kind of hone in on like what one thing you want to focus on with just that one word that you can kind of integrate all throughout your life. The neat thing is the co-authors, there's 2 co-authors on that book too, and they're from Maryland. So they talk about Maryland in the book too, which is just kind of fun for any of our local friends that are from Maryland. So that's another good one as well. Anybody else? I know we have 2 people that we can't see. I didn't know, Lisa or Donna, if you want to jump in. Oh, Emily, why don't you talk about that one?
So the 10X rule I just pulled up on here. So I wanted to bring this book out because everyone knows Kate Morris. I know she's read this book cover to cover, and it has completely changed her business. So this is definitely an amazing book. It really shows you that you are made for more, and you're made to be doing more than the average that you think you can't do. So that's definitely another one to add to the list if you haven't read it, or go back and reread it.
Yeah, the 10X rule. Mark, do you want to give us a drop-in on your thoughts on the 10X rule?
I want to mention the first chapter.
But you enjoyed it so far?
That's all right.
Yeah, Mark's somebody that really struggles with personal development, and this is a good thing too. Like if your husband or your spouse isn't on board with personal development, to try to help them find some books that are. 10X Rule, it's a little more dry than most of our books, but like something like The Energy Bus, Compound Effect, The Energy Bus, those were ones that who doesn't really do a lot of personal development, was able to read and get through. So you can kind of integrate that into your spouse's life as well. Or, that's a great time to have car audio while your spouse just happens to be in the car with you and can hear it also. So cool. What's up, Tina? Hey, girl. Do you want to jump in and tell us some PD that you're doing, or that your favorite PD book, something that you love? No pressure.
No pressure at all. Pull up my audiobook list. I've actually been listening to Abraham Hicks. She talks a lot about positive intention, and that's been a huge drive lately. I did read the 10X again. My cloud is not working.
That's totally fine.
Give me a minute and I'll pop back on.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. One of the things too, I wanted to read you guys a quote from my book, which I was telling you guys is Girl Code, that I read today, and I kind of read it and it made me laugh because it's referencing fitness and confidence in the same situation. It says, confidence is a muscle that needs a daily workout. Do things scared, because the more you do, the more confident that you'll feel. the more confident you are, the more profitable your business will be. You guys know, like, I'm an advocate for really pushing your comfort zone. I've been doing it a lot myself lately, and just kind of going all in and going for it, and not thinking twice. And I think there's a lot of us that overthink in this business, right? I've probably talked to almost every person that's on this call right now that has overthought something at one point or another, and I've told you to stop and just do it. And I think that our business, it's really easy to do that. So to really focus on just going for it and just being confident in whatever decisions you're making and whatever you're choosing to do. You know, this business has brought so much more than just health and fitness into all of our lives. And the nice thing about this is, I know 4 years ago, I wouldn't recognize the person I am today. And that, you know what I mean? Because of the growth and the confidence and the self-help, which, you know, I thought was a weird thing, stigma, you know, self-help, and personal development and all of that. So just knowing that confidence is one of those things that it grows, but you can't overthink things. You just got to do them. And your confidence gets stronger and stronger the more that you do those things that you're scared of and afraid of, because you just kind of have to look them in the face and do them. So don't hesitate to do that in this business. Anybody else have anything? Let's see. We gotta drop in here from Donna. Says she's completed the 10X rule. Oh, the Miracle Morning. Nobody talked about that. The Energy Bus and How to Sell Network Marketing by Michael Oliver. All the books have been really great. The network marketing has been great since I had no idea what network marketing was about. I highly recommend this book. 2 things. How to Rock Your Network Marketing Business by Sarah Robbins. My hands down favorite network marketing book, because girl just tells it how it is and makes it really simple. So that's a good one. Sarah Robbins, she's got a lot of great content that's free. She puts out in her newsletter every week free stuff about network marketing, especially it's geared towards women, of course, but it's a great option and a great resource to use. And then the other book that Donna mentioned was The Miracle Morning, and nobody brought that one up. That book, man, game changer. If you have not read it, read Miracle Morning for Network Marketers first, then go back and read the original Miracle Morning. It really, man, there are so many people in this business that have changed a lot of their behaviors because of the Miracle Morning. You guys know that I quit my full-time job so I could sleep in every day and do what I wanted, and I get up at 4:45 every morning now from the Miracle Morning because it taught me how to change my life and redo my behaviors in the morning. That book is a game changer. Make sure that you check that out. And that's a Miracle Morning. I have 2 of my customers reading that right now that have created morning habits for themselves and are more successful in their life overall, not just their health and fitness. So that's another good book to kind of get some of your challengers to read so they can create some new habits for themselves also. Anybody else? I think everybody's gone. Yeah. Cool. All right. Well, guys, thank you so much for jumping on this call. This is going to be a great call to kind of send to your team or people that weren't on the call. Instead of just giving them a list of personal development books, every one of you just gave a great kind of synopsis on why you're reading what you're reading and how awesome it is. So this is going to be a great recording to share with other people on your team that are like, hey, Jenna, I'm not feeling confident. What should I read? Guess what? We have a great team call on that. Here you go. Go check it out. Instead of you investing tons and tons of time, you have a great resource here now that you can use. So thank you guys for adding your input. Without you, we couldn't do what we do. So keep doing it and be awesome. And remember that we're going to live stronger every day, and we're going to help everybody else around us do it too. Have a great night, guys.